Good evening, my name is Valerie Delgado, and my partner Mary and I will be talking to you a little bit about the brand, or the company Tiffany & Co. Just by a show of quick hands, how many of you have heard of the brand Tiffany & Company? Okay, so of those hands, how many of you have purchased something from Tiffany & Company? Okay, and can you just share real quick why you purchased something?
Wedding rings.
Yes.
It makes for a very nice gift.
Okay.
The little blue box says it all.
Okay, okay, great. And so those of you that maybe have heard of the brand but have not purchased anything, could you just share why? It's expensive, yes.
Overwhelming prices.
Exactly. And so that's what we're going to talk about a little bit today. So obviously several people in here have heard of the brand, and it is an expensive brand. It's a really nice brand. Their stuff is really good quality, and they obviously have several accessory pieces such as jewelry, sunglasses, eyewear, in addition to that, leather goods, home products. So they are obviously well known. So the opportunity that we saw with this brand, Tiffany & Co., is that offering a brand extension to appeal to a younger market by perhaps offering products that are not as expensive. What those products might be would be up to Tiffany & Co., but we just want to offer a brand extension. So through an opportunity of a brand extension, they would be building on the identity that they currently have. Through this proposition, they would be able to grow their market share, increase sales, and revenue. A brand extension is a powerful way to grow and develop your organization by unlocking the untapped potential of your business. So through research, we have found that a successful brand extension offers appeal to a broader market, increased demand for new products, and then increased sales and revenue, which is the bottom line. So by exploring new potential areas for relevant growth, brand extensions give companies access to better brand visibility, to increase the demand for new products, and boost consumer connections, and of course, more opportunities for profit. So that's what research shows. In addition, research also shows that a brand extension strategy involves using an existing brand reputation to promote a new service or product. So my partner Mary will talk a little bit about the strategy.
So we looked a lot at different companies that have attempted a brand extension. There are a lot of examples of both success and failure. And the strategies that we saw for success included respecting the parent company's brand image and company values. That's one of the most important factors in not alienating both your current clientele, but also the current upper level management in the company. We also looked at strategies that attract new customers without, like I said, alienating those your current customers that have a perception of Tiffany specifically as an elite brand. Unlike a rebrand, the strategy of building on the identity already established, so that's what makes a brand extension unique to just creating an entirely new brand. And one of the reasons that you would look at a brand extension is capturing that niche market and capturing new customers. Possibly another reason that a lot of us haven't bought anything from Tiffany is that it is less relevant to our generation than it has been in previous generations. Part of that is definitely due to the price of the products, but also just because it hasn't really expanded its product line to attract specifically our generation. For example, if you think about perhaps other companies that have attempted brand expansions, those would be, if you think of like a Fendi pom-pom that you could purchase to put on your bag, or Gucci belts or Hermes belts, things that we would be willing to spend that money on by virtue of the brand name itself. Tiffany doesn't have a relevant example of that like Fendi or Gucci or Hermes does right now. So we looked at some of the key risks that a company faces in a brand expansion. That includes, like any brand expansion, you're going to be risking cannibalization of your current profits by creating a new product that can eliminate the profits that you're getting from your current product line. Additionally, the perception of your brand extension. For this, there's a lot of different examples of this. An example of a failure of a brand expansion would be Marc by Marc Jacobs, which recently declared bankruptcy, and that would be just that particular aspect of the company. Because when you have your only distinguishing factor between Marc by Marc Jacobs and regular Marc Jacobs being the difference in price, then your customers are automatically going to assume that the quality is the other distinguishing factor. So an example of a success would be Prada versus their sister company, Miu Miu, which I didn't know were related, but they are. And the difference there is that you don't think of the only difference between those two lines being the price point. So you don't, next step, think, okay, well then Miu Miu is just less good quality. Additionally, the brand image and your long-term versus short-term goals. Obviously, the goal is always to increase profits, but if that is to the detriment of your long-term brand image, then that doesn't work for your company. So this is in a letter from the CEO of Tiffany in the annual report to their shareholders, talking about their efforts to expand into the current generation while, as they said, remaining true to its heritage and brand integrity. Obviously, the company's been around for 180 years, so it's been doing this for a long time. So another example that we found, we looked at Mercedes-Benz. I thought was a similar company, although it's not obviously in clothing and accessories. Mercedes in the 1980s created its 190 model. And the risks it faced were potential harm to brand image, brand loyalty, and like I said before, upper level management. If the fit isn't appropriate, the extension can do substantial harm to the company. But Mercedes was actually successful in reaching further down the sub-luxury buyer market, and in fact, that brand extension contributed excitement and youthfulness to the entire line, which is something that we feel that Tiffany & Company really needs today. So our recommendation is to provide products that are by their very nature less expensive. So, for example, ping pong paddles. And we looked at the Tiffany website. They actually have a collection that's called Everyday Collection, Everyday Items. But the way that they are delivering that right now, we don't feel is helping their brand. The items that they have, these ping pong paddles, for instance, are $700. And they also sell a sterling silver razor, which is about $600. They had a sterling silver ball of yarn, which was $9,000. So we felt that even though the name of the brand is what we're going for, the way they're executing it is not helping them to find new clientele and to appeal to the newer generation. Because we feel that the companies that have been successful in that are things like Prada with their coin purses, or Fendi pom-poms, or just other luxury brands that have created products that are by their nature less expensive, like a coin purse, so we can afford them with the Fendi tag on it without knowing that the only difference is that it's worse quality.